So I just got off the call with one of my boys, and he was asking me if he should leave his day job to pursue some sort of entrepreneurial avenue. And I thought that it would be a cool conversation to share with you guys, because I feel like he was coming from a place where a lot of us are coming from. And long story short, what I recommended was, no, you don't want to leave your day job to go pursue this business. In reality, what you really want to do is do both at the same time. So the reason why I was saying that mainly is because of the fact that it's not easy to pursue these new endeavors. That's the first thing. And it's not the fact that it's hard that we shouldn't do it, but in order for us to do hard things and have a high chance of success, there's a certain order of operations we have to follow before doing this, especially with trying to create a new income stream or trying to consider leaving something as consistent as a day job. Like, you can say whatever you want about jobs not being consistent. They can let you go. You're just a number. Sure. But at least if you have a job right now, then you have some form of security and some form of income. So what I was trying to get back to him was, okay, let's work backwards. Let's go through the order of operations and let's talk through what this would look like if you were to start your own income stream. To me, the correct order of operations is, one, understanding why you want to do this first off. What's the reason behind this? Two is understanding how you're gonna do this. And then three is committing to that process. So when you're in that why you want to do this stage, that's really self-analyzing yourself and making sure that you're not coming at this from a heightened emotional state. A lot of us can go through the work day and have a bad day or something like that. A lot of us can wake up at 5 a.m. or whatever time we get up from work, and we get tired about having to have the commute to the office, or maybe we don't like our manager, we don't like our coworkers, we don't like our line of business, et cetera, et cetera. We don't like the stress. But make sure that the why behind you doing this is not just you being from an emotionally heightened state, because the same argument could be made that, yeah, you can start your own business and do this and that. That might also have its own, that's also going to have its own types of stresses for sure. But also, if you're having that type of issue at your current job, you could just leave the job and go find a different one. To me, that would be the obvious answer. But all I'm saying for that stage with its order of operations is make sure that you're not just trying to leave something because you're emotionally heightened right now and you haven't thought through this whole process yet. But number two is talking through, how are you going to do it? Because if you're saying you want to leave your day job, and I'm assuming you have some sort of responsibility in life, like you have to, provide for yourself or someone else. You have to put food on the table. You got to have a shelter. You got to pay for your bills, et cetera, et cetera. 9 times out of 10, when you're starting your new business, you're not going to be making a lot of money for quite some time. So the order of how are you going to actually, what's the business plan for this? How are you going to generate income? When do you think you're going to make the income for this? And where are you going to capture? Who's your target audience and stuff like that? Like, all those questions have to be very well vetted out, and they have to be discussed in detail before you start doing things like this. And that's the beauty of being able to keep your job at the same time, because once you have that plan in place, you technically, theoretically, as long as you have your money and your finances in place, you can use your day job finance to fund your business. You can use your day job finance to keep you afloat. You're only working 8 hours out of the day. If you really want this, you can use the rest of your time to go and push and promote that business forward. And the third step of having to commit yourself to this is one of the most important things, because, it's hard enough to get the right plan in place. But once you have even any plan in place, even if that plan fails, it's all right. You learn something from that. But committing yourself to the plan, committing yourself to the work for months, for years, when you're tired, that's the hardest thing I feel like for people to do, because it's not easy to get your first, second stream of income, and your third and your fourth, or whatever it may be. There are going to be times when you're sitting there and you get home from work and you're not going to want to do anything. That's kind of the problem with living in a developed country. But also the benefit of being in a developed country is not one person, not one able-bodied working person should not be able to achieve anything they want in life. Like, if all you care about in life is making a lot of money, then you can do it. If you say you want to make a lot of money and you don't make a lot of money, I would say that's because you're lazy and you don't want to. Because 9 times out of 10, you can go get another job. You can work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do to make that money, if that's really what it is. But I'm saying, in this scenario, related to my boy, like, he's saying, I'm just making sure he's aware that it's gonna be tough. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of effort. And there's gonna be days when you want to give up, and you got to commit yourself to the plan you made in step 2. this is something that I'm still on the journey of doing actually myself. So I'm talking from experience here. When you start breaking down the order of operations, make sure you have, exactly the why behind why you're trying to do what you're trying to do. Make sure you know specifically what steps you're trying to do you're gonna have to take to accomplish this. And make sure you know as well that no matter what happens here, I'm committing myself to this for a certain amount of time, because it's all right to pivot when things aren't going well or if things don't go well, but you have to give yourself time to get there. So if you follow those 3 steps, then it's only a matter of time until you start having your first stream of income, and then you have your second one and your third one. And using your job to push that forward is a beautiful way. Actually, like in reality, what you could really do long term is you may not even want to leave your job. It's up to you if you want to leave your job, because to me, the most powerful thing that you can have in life is the power of choice. So now let's say, for example, you're 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, and your business or your second idea is making enough money to where, I'm not even saying it's matching your day job. Like, let's say that it's just making enough money to where you're comfortable considering just doing that business or just doing that option, entirely on its own away from your day job. Well, you could do that for sure. Or you could have the power move, like what I would consider doing. You could have the power move of having both that day job and your side business. And now you're talking about legacy. You could take all that day job money and be investing it. And now there's your third income stream, because with the amount of money you're investing every year, you're definitely going to be able to, you can do dividend investing. You can do the index funds. You're definitely going to be setting a legacy at this point. So yeah, I want to start doing a series like this where if you want to email me any questions, or if I don't get any questions relatively soon, I'll be sharing conversations I have with my friends and stuff like that, because it's things that can help you guys out for sure. So long story short, typically speaking, for the average person, I would not leave my day job. Doesn't really matter what's going on. I would not leave my day job to pursue my new business. I'm also not very high on risk tolerance like that. Like I believe that we can have anything we want in life if we put the work in. I believe that, but there's also an order of operations we have to take before we take that first leap. So I hope this video resonated with you guys in some way. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.